Hi, folks. Lloyd Easter's here. I want to share something today, a really neat thing that I came across. Mel Robbins, if you know who she is, she wrote the 5 Second Rule. Really love her stuff, her message, and the things she does to help people. She just came out with a new series on Audible called Start Here, Pep Talk series, 13 different topics, 30 minutes in length, and she goes over different topics that pertain to our everyday lives. One of them is anxiety. I really want to go over that with you today because it seems like there's so much anxiety in our world today. If you're on social media at all, there's a heightened sense of anxiety. There's agitation. There's just people are just really anxious about what's going on. Not only does this happen every election cycle, but it just seems to happen all the time. Every time there's an event that happens, it just gets exploded and amplified in the media and just in people's lives in general. And The Social Dilemma, which recently came out on Netflix, if you watch that, it talks about how social media impacts us emotionally and how we get sucked in, and it's just really amazing. So anxiety is nothing new. It's been around for a while and can control your life. And so what we want to do today is I want to just go over some of the things that Mel Robbins went over so you can have an understanding of where anxiety comes from and what you can do about it, right? So here, if you look at anxiety here, and I'm going to draw here on the if you look at it as a response to something that goes on in your life. So let's say you're walking down the road and you almost get hit by a car, right? So as you're walking, like your anxiety level is pretty low, and then bam, it just shoots up, right? And so then it calms down pretty fast. The car passes, and you're like, oh, okay, I didn't get hit. Okay, it's good now. But you had this spike right here, right? Now, imagine if you, and maybe you're a worrier, or maybe you're not, but if you think about what are the things that can cause these spikes. Okay, a friend of mine was just talking the other day. He says he was on he was talking about walks a lot, going to walk on a trail, and he saw a snake. Now, immediately, you hear that spike, that hit right here, right? And then it quickly subsided when he realized, okay, it wasn't a poisonous snake. It was just something that startled him, and it's an inward reflex that we all have, right? And it's important, and we need to have it. But if small things set you off like that all throughout your day, where you're experiencing these spikes all throughout the day, holy cow, now you have this fight or flight reflex going on all the time. And if worry about little things sets you off and you have these spikes, then your stress levels to the roof, then you really can take control of what you do on a day-to-day basis. So what can we do about it? So worry is basically the thought process precursor to anxiety. So worry leads to anxiety, right? And then what does anxiety do when it becomes enough? It manifests itself in a physical form, right? So we can have inflammation in the body. We can end up getting sick. We can have an upset stomach. We get irritable bowel syndrome. There's so many physical ailments that can result from prolonged and extensive anxiety, right? So this is really important. How do we address anxiety in our lives? So here's what Mel Robbins suggests you do. So number one, you list your worries, right? What are the things that you were worried about? So you're worried about your job. You're worried about your children. You're worried about your car. You're worried about traffic. You're worried about an election. You're worried about so many different things that you're worried about. So you list out all these worries, all these things that are impacting you, and then you convert them, right? And you say, okay, well, if I'm worried about my job, right? What is it that I'm worried about? And instead, I'm going to say I'm excited about my job. I'm excited about what my children are doing. Excited that I have a car that I can drive, right? And so you create this buffer, right? And she calls it an anchor thought, right? So what's this anchor thought of excitement, right? So now you're shifting your thought process from worry to excitement. And what have you done? You've broken the cycle. And so she talks about in the 5-second rule, right? 5-second rule. So once you feel this worry coming on, this worry thought coming on, you say, okay, 5-second rule is 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You've broken the pattern. I'm excited about. And that reduces your level of stress, reduces your level of anxiety, and you have broken that pattern. Now, this is a daily exercise, right? And this is something that just doesn't happen once, over and over and over, and get used to it, right? So here's some resources as I wrap up. So I highly recommend that you listen to this. These are 30 minutes, there's 13 of them. They're 30 minutes each. They're on Audible. Audible is the only place you can get them. You can do a free trial for 30 days and listen to them if you want to do that. I love Audible and other subscription services. Anytime we can learn and listen to books, I love it. There are breathing techniques. I was listening to one today where you have 2 quick breaths in through your nostril and then breathe out slowly. So you do that a few times. It reduces your stress level physically so that you can then address it mentally. And I've never been much of a meditator, but Emily Fletcher has this wonderful book, Stress Less, Accomplish More, and her meditation techniques are so wonderful. They don't take up a lot of time, and they really help you reduce stress and anxiety in your life so that you can make better decisions. You can make more money, you can have better relationships, you can advance your career, all the things you want to do in life, you can be able to do them. We can reduce the level of anxiety that we're experiencing. So hope this was helpful. Subscribe to my newsletter, get that, check out more of my videos, and we'll be talking to you soon.